Привет! Это 21-я часть моего прохождения игры The Outer Worlds. Так, да. Мы уже прыгнули? Мы уже прыгнули. Мы же вроде как нашли место. А, все, я поняла. Мы с какой-то с другой стороны. Какой-то патруль прошел. Мы... Все-таки мы не прыгнули, понятно. Затупила. Помнишь, там должен был быть корабль?
I'll keep an eye on things out here.
Yeah, me too. You have fun, Captain.
Фига себе вы. Ха! Помощнички. Да ладно. Ошибка. Ключ капитана Мацу активен, но его биометрические показатели более не регистрируются на мостике. Отметка рабочего времени при отсутствии на рабочем месте является нарушением правил ВОК. Извлечь командный ключ капитана Мацу, найти модуль наведения, провести диагностику, показать записи, воспроизвести запись сигнала бедствия. Показать записи. Дневник капитана, 12 ноября 2354. Старший говорит что-то про обход запасного регулятора чего-то там. Всякая фигня. Развернулись в сторону первопроходца, запущу двигатель и выйду в отставку. Лучше пусть меня арестуют, чем я останусь без энергии и буду дрейфовать в космосе. Надеюсь, что старушка выдержит еще один полет. Дневник капитана, 21 декабря 2354. Почему в этой законом забытой колонии так сложно достать детали? Старший инженер кричит на меня, требует заказать еще какую-нибудь штуку, а я даже не могу дождаться ответа от корпорации. Дневник капитана, 3 января. Еще один корабль садится на Тер-1, а мы не можем его сбить. Всего, значит. Уже не помню сколько. В чем смысл здесь находиться, если мы не можем получить подкрепление? Повторить запись сигнала бедствия.
Hello, my name's Jen. I'm the chief engineer on this gunship, and I'd like to let the record show that our captain is a total fucking hullhead. I told him again and again that without fixing our regulators, spinning up the engines are going to blow through our coils and we'll go flying off in a completely random direction. Well, here we are. Thinking we'll hit soil in about 30 seconds. This is your chief engineer signing off for what is probably the last time. It's a shame you can't see this middle finger I'm holding up, because I'm doing it as hard as I can.
Главный терминал работает, управление воротами не работает, двигатели технически функционируют, целостность корпуса лучше не спрашивать, операционные параметры канарейки выходят за допустимые пределы повреждений. Стоимость любого ремонта на ближайшей станции ВОК будет оплачена командой в равных долях. Извлечь ключ. Командный ключ извлечен. Ну, ё-моё. Надо было нажать «Найти». Какая прелесть, когда трупы подсвечиваются. Отдать модуль Санджару, отдать модуль Грэму. Я бы поговорила сначала с Санджаром. Посмотрела, что он мне скажет. И отдала бы ему модуль.
What job did the board assign you when you came of age? Bet it was something real neat, like professional flexing.
Wilderness patrol. Plenty of folk traveling on foot out there, even back when there were roads. I protected them from raps and the like.
Gosh, and here I was jawing about how I was watching your back. I'm probably more like to get in your way.
Everyone needs someone watching after them. Even me. Even if I ain't keen to admit it sometimes.
If the iconoclasts reach that ship first, there won't be any chance for a peaceful monarch. I don't suppose you've found the targeting module yet. I've sent patrols, but they're running into trouble with the iconoclasts. Well, because the module controls the weapons systems. Because once we mount them on Stellar Bay's walls, no Marauder or Raptidon will ever be a threat to us again. Stellar Bay will be as secure as any other settlement in Halcyon.
The point is, this weapon system would be a powerful advantage, and we can't risk the iconoclast getting it.
Can you imagine what those maniacs would do with weapons like that? They'd wreak havoc.
And roll back all the progress we've made at reconciling with the rest of Halcyon.
This would be more than a shakeup. Even if they merely sat on the scraps, the threat of a bunch of anarchists holding a gunship would bring the full wrath of the board down on Monarch. We can't afford that.
I'm skeptical they'd care enough to wipe us out, but if they did, we wouldn't stand a chance.
Ah, you see our quandary then.
На самом деле Грэму я 100% не хочу отдавать вообще какую-нибудь власть. Санджар хочет вернуться в коллегию, и меня это немного смущает. Если, как он говорит, подмять под себя, но это будет довольно-таки тяжело. Хотя в теории это, конечно, огромный шаг. Но я боюсь, что он мне что-то не договаривает. Либо просто его так озвучили, либо лицо у него такое. В общем, я боюсь, как бы он не преследовал какие-то личные цели, тупо вернуться в в коллегию и прогнуться под них, стать их марионеткой, и тогда все труды будут напрасны абсолютно, с моей стороны. А вот если, например, Зора сместила бы Грэма, тогда я бы не знаю, что было бы лучше. И я не знаю, будет она его смещать или нет, когда обо всем подумает, узнав информацию о том, что это он сдал тогда город. В общем, непонятно. Буду пока поддерживать Санджара. Возможно, он меня наебывает, и я буду просто дурой.
Don't worry. We'll send an engineering team for those later. We'll have to disconnect them from the rest of the ship.
Of course, they'll be useless without that targeting module, which is why it's critical that you retrieve it.
Which is also why we can't let the iconoclasts get them.
The board's own salvage and recovery clause 32B would say differently.
And they won't dare challenge us over this. Not after the data you found on their experiments here.
Look, Celia, she's being funny again.
I don't think so, sir.
Really? Well, I could have sworn... Well, that's not important. What is important is that there's a considerable distance between us and that ship, and most of it is inhabited by marauders and raptidons. Good. That's surprising. The board's equipment is usually in top shape. After all, they have first access to any fresh parts or components. You think so? I always thought scarcities on Monarch were due to our pariah status. They're all mad! And what's more, they left us! I don't see any way for us to work together. Not this again.
Remember what we practiced, sir.
Yes. The words in those reviews were very hurtful, but they do not define me. I am a mantipillar, and my will is my cocoon. I can emerge and become whatever I wish.
Это смешно.
You too?
She has a point, sir. And it's not all bad.
Supposing you're right, who exactly would you have me work with? The iconoclasts are not the most compromising sorts. Oh, how do these things ever start? Once upon a time, Graham and I saw the same problems with MSI. A rigid corporate structure with no regard for its people. But where I wanted to reform MSI, he only wanted to take it apart. As if starving in the wilderness is somehow better than starving under corporate mismanagement. He won't hear reason now, and I wouldn't trust him again. That's an interesting suggestion. I confess I don't know much about her except that she worked for Rizzo.
There ain't a body on this planet that can keep a group patched up like she has. I don't know how she does it.
I'd be willing to consider it, but I need to see her review first. Very well. I can't promise anything, but let's see what we have here. Well, it seems like she's actually very qualified.
If it weren't for her, I wager the iconoclast would have died off a while ago.
I wasn't expecting to say this, but if you can put her in charge and convince her to agree to a meeting, I'd be willing to discuss terms.
Ура! Ду-ду-ду-ду-ду-ду. Такс.
You all got different Saltuna here on Monarch. Ain't that neat?
You come to Monarch and that's what you're excited about? You ought to get out more.
I'm getting out right now.
Так, что мы имеем? Дать ему телеграмму, убедить МСИ, иконоборцев вступить в переговоры.
What did Stellar Bay's engineer name your canning machine?
I don't rightly know. That'd have been Guster, I think? I'd ask him, but he fell in the machine once, so. Could call it Guster's demise, or the Guster Crusher? Oh, that's got a ring to it.
Forget I asked.
Captain, we should chat. Graham's got the right idea, but he isn't the right guy to execute it. I don't even think he's motivated by philosophism anymore. I think he's just guilt-ridden. I can't believe I'm even saying this, but I keep going over and over it in my head, and the only way I see the iconoclast surviving is we depose him.
Какая неожиданность, надо же.
Yeah. Hell, most of our people listen to me already. Take Stellar Bay. Lick our wounds. Eventually, figure out how the hell we're going to spread the word to the rest of the colony. I'm going to confront him. Can I count on your support? Okay. Deep breaths. This is what's best, Sora. Time to save Monarch.
Captain, you must be back with the access codes to our new ship.
Graham, we need to talk.
We have work to do. This isn't the time for one of our spats. Yes, we are acting. On Stellar Bay. What's this about?
You're running the iconoclast into the ground, and I don't believe it'll get better after we take Stellar Bay. The troops take orders from me already, and you've brought me as far as you can down the eternal path. It's time to step down.
The troops. Listen to you. This isn't an army. They aren't soldiers. They're believers. Followers. They pick up a gun because you tell them to, not because they want to. And you, Captain, after all you've done for me, for us, you throw behind this mutinous blasphemer? I built this movement from the ground up. I've brought freedom to Monarch, and all these years later, we're still free.
I joined because I believed that you were in it for the iconoclasts. That you wanted nothing more than to bring freedom to Halcyon. That you were selfless. But I know the truth now, Graham. I know what happened in Amber Heights. You didn't start this movement because you wanted to save us. You wanted to save yourself.
No. Guilty? I didn't mean for them to die. I'm not a monster. Of course I feel fucking guilty. I've spent years atoning for my sins. I've studied, meditated, taught. I built the iconoclasts so that any man could cast away his past for a fresh start.
That's your answer, Graham? You needed a fresh start? After all those innocent lives? I'm sorry. I believed in you once. I did. But it's over. Stand down.
I won't. What happened back then was a mistake, and the colony has moved on. This is my movement. These are my people. If you want to lead them, you'll have to kill me.
Please. Don't make me do this, Graham.
If this is where my path ends, I accept it. But as long as I draw breath, I will not abandon them.
So be it.
Here they come!
He's on me, folks!
Well, Captain, here we are. Killed a lot of people in the name of the iconoclasts, and it never feels right. But this time it's especially wrong. You've got the... Void held me. I'll never remember what that thing is called. The device from the ship. Do you have it? I've thought about it, but I think we're too far gone. Pulling Carlotta's support was crossing a line. Yeah, well, we'll die Fuck. I sound like Graham. Throwing lives at a problem. We've lost a hell of a lot to this fight. Graham would never agree to this, but I'm starting to realize how often he led us astray. All right. If he's willing to talk, I'll give him a chance. Well then. I've got to prepare a few just-in-case measures. But when you're ready, let's meet at the old OSI church outside Stellar Bay.
А теперь я могу все украсть? Я бы хотела. Нет, не это, конечно. Я про те запчасти. Появились какие-то новые записи? Зато ее сейчас нет в ее доме. Пациенты на излечение. Эзекиил заражение жуками. Опробовано антибиотики, нет эффекта. Алкогольное опьянение НЭ, нет эффекта. Кислотная капельница, нет эффекта. Состояние более не с нами. Рони, повреждение легкого левого локтевого сустава. Состояние наложена шина, выздоравливает. Айверс, множественные огнестрельные ранения, грудь, правая рука, правая нога, состояние кровотечения остановлено, несколько пуль не удалось извлечь, выздоровление маловероятно. Миссон, химические ожоги лица, левой кисти и предплечья, состояние нанесена мазь, наложены повязки, выдан алкоголь. Кстати, что у нас теперь по репутации? Надо же, здесь никого нет. Да, я бежала, все. Черт. Хотела срезать путь.
Hey, thanks for coming.
I wish I'd had more time to prepare a proper analysis on the costs and benefits of your proposed union, but I suppose we'll have to improvise.
Gotta admit, I really thought I was walking into a trap here. I'm ready.
If it were, I wouldn't be standing here all vulnerable like.
Sanja, Stellar Bay's got food and walls. And my people need both. If you'll have us, we're willing to share the space.
Do you have any idea what that would cost? Why, drawing up the budget alone is going to take weeks.
Not good enough. I need to move a fair amount of my people into the city. We need shelter, Captain. Suppose some of our healthier folk could offer aid. Some of us need to stay in the city proper, though.
Captain, this might really work.
Truly, a compromise? I'm not sure I'd ever have heard as much from Graham.
Graham was a murderous fiend, and I'd be shocked if you didn't already know that.
This feels like one of those times when everyone at headquarters but me is laughing at something, but you two aren't laughing.
Amber Heights, you haulhead. 10 years ago, Graham had all those people killed.
What? That's not possible. Even for him, that's going too far. I certainly didn't think so at the time, but now that you mention it, I had no idea, I swear. Look, we were both fed up with corporate leadership, but I never guessed he'd do something like that.
I buy it. Sanjar ain't capable of hurting a sprat, even from a distance.
You can't take bureaucrats at their word. You back someone into a corner like this, and they'll say anything to get out of it. Okay. You're right. Sorry. It'll take me a while to get over losing Graham.
You know, I felt the same way years ago, when he first left. There was something magnetic about him that let you ignore the things you didn't want to see. But surely you know what that's like.
Yeah, I do. Okay, if you're willing to house and supply some of us, I'll have our more capable soldiers help out.
As am I. Oh, I can feel my blood pressure lowering already.
Thanks for coming out, Sanja. Guess I'll see you at Stellar Bay.
Gotta be honest, Captain. Never thought I'd see the day. You've done a good thing for Monarch here.
Хе-хе, я такая молодец. На-на-на-на-на-на. На-на-на-на-на-на. Так, что теперь? Поговорите с Финнесом. Так. К Эшу. Так, а что, я никому эту штуку не отдала или отдала все-таки? Я отдала кому-нибудь эту штуку? Так. Мы столько раз забегали сюда. Но я все время забывала сходить к Эшу и взять награду за задание.
Oh, Nyoka. How have you been? Nothing on this moon for nobody. There's a lot of heartbreak. You know, a tiny part, a damn stupid part of me hoped he was still out there. What happened? Damn. Well, you find our box of memories? Well, ain't you clever? Fine. I was supposed to pick him up that night. Thing is, another offer came along. Bit more lucrative. And their payment almost died with them. Thanks to you, I can afford another round. Cheers, hero. Look, I like your gumption. I was gonna share the bits, but here's a couple extra. Now go on. Even old Mantis passed.
Вот ты мудак. Ну, наконец-таки все мое. Да-да-да. Да-да-да. Все баночки будут моими. Я так долго этого ждала. Так, ну и где наш мудам? Блин, она, наверное, в Стеллар Бэй. Ну а где она еще может быть? СЦИ появился. MCI.
Hey. Hey.
59, скидка такая осталась. Что у нас тут? 17 левел. Все, никаких заданий не осталось. Где Зора?
I must thank you for your excellent recommendation regarding Zora. She's most capable. Anyway, what can I do for you? Quite well. As a matter of fact, Zora is proving most capable. You should see the way she pounds the table and gets straight to the point. It makes for some rather exhilarating meetings. I know I had my concerns initially, but your instincts were right. Zora and her compatriots have become valuable and productive members of our community. And since we're back in the board's good graces, we've got real growth prospects to look forward to. What can I do for you?
Staying long?
Где может быть Зора? Я хотела бы с ней поговорить. Может быть, в медотсеке?
Smells like wrapped in here.
Oh, it does work. I bought some musk from Sebastian to cover up the...
Well, Mioka, isn't it nice to see?
Нет, наверное, ее здесь нет. Ладно, хрен мне. Возвращаемся на корабль. Я хочу эту штуку. Не хочу эту штуку. Там два мужика, я точно не украду. Жаль, конечно. Это была минка? Сучья минка была? Собака сутулая. Ох, эти минки. Вас приветствует система управления воротами Рица. Энергозатраты 23% мощности. Электрогенераторы. Пожалуйста, выберите вариант. Открыть северные ворота. Наконец-таки на корабле. Я уже соскучилась по дому. Торговые автоматы? Я могу взламывать торговые автоматы? Это, наверное, то, что открывает доступ к запрещенным предметам в торговых автоматах, наверное, вот это.
Captain, Felix and the vicar are arguing again.
Miss Nyoka's so capable, you hardly notice how sad she looks.
Полный ящик инструментов. Тут полно уникальных инструментов для узких задач. Копаясь в ящике, легко лишиться пальцев. Здесь много острых лезвий. По-моему, это уже смотрели. Ничего новенького здесь не появилось. Здесь, смотрите, книга о машиностроении. Феликс принес эту книгу с первопроходца. Кажется, ее пока никто не читал.
Since when? Since the Rangers decided their 8th back should stay in the Wednesday zone. Come on, Felix. The Rangers threw that game.
Were we listening to the same game? The Rangers were robbed. The Hammers had the judges in their pockets.
Teams that play poorly deserve to lose. That's a fundamental law of the universe.
Don't bring religion into this, preacher.
The Rangers handily snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. If you can't see that, let's just agree to disagree.
I disagree. Also, get spaced. Hey, boss, I want to talk to you. I can't believe I wanted to shake his hand. I need a shower. Makes you wonder if being a treacherous, two-timing coward is some sort of contagious disease, or if he was just born that way. At first, I liked what Graham was doing. The iconoclasts were going to change Halcyon for the better. But then, we found out Graham was behind the slaughter of Amber Heights. How can anybody so morally bankrupt lead a movement to transform the colony? Yeah, maybe you're right. You'd never do something like that, would you? Slaughter a whole community of innocents? I'm sure Graham told himself the same thing. He wasn't the one who held the gun and pulled the trigger. All he did was turn a key. The thing is, that's all it takes. Sometimes the difference between right and wrong is turning a key, or looking the other way, or keeping your mouth shut when you ought to speak up. Let's get back to it. I need to put all this ugly business with Graham behind me.
Things on Monarch have really cooled off. I didn't think MSI and the Iconoclast would ever talk. Outside of shouting four-letter words, I mean. Sure, and fish sticks are really made from Saltuna. Look, I won't knock the work you did. I'm sure they'll have a good cry, look through old photographs, share a pint of premium double chocolate cacao gelato. But sooner or later, things will go back to the way they were. People don't change. Not really. Well, who hasn't been there? Anyway, I'd hate to see you get broken up if this thing between them doesn't last. I never do. Anything else?
Анатомический плакат. Это для дротиков. Уязвимые места приносят больше очков. Неока. Анатомический плакат. Неока и единолично ответственная за то, что популяция тераскатов на монархии уменьшилась на 10%. Анатомический плакат. Предметы, которые находили в пищеварительной системе раптидона обыкновенного. Банки кетонца просто космос целиком. Раптидоны поменьше. Бутылка пурпуричного вина. Картриджи с битами. Остатки дорогуш тети Клео прошлого сезона. Тренок в чехле. Когда им бьешь, прямо чувствуешь, как волна поднимается по руке до плеча. Ни разу не подвела Неока. Раптидон по имени Фрида. Неока нацарапала имя Фрида на отлично сохранившейся голове Раптидона. Фотография команды Неоки в рамке. Поблекшая фотография Неоки с ее охотничьим отрядом. На обороте чьё-то красным выведено слово «Кхаран». Открывает преимущественно команда для Неоки.
Battery levels are fully charged.
Hey, Cap. Oh, that's just Frida. She's the first rapt I ever killed. I had her preserved. It had been when I was a kid, so something on the order of 20 years. My parents were very proud. Me too, to be honest. I'd have thought she'd have started rotting years ago, counting my blessings. Don't you worry. I'll keep an eye on the old girl. Hey. Well, yesterday, Ellie and I almost got to fighting. She turned a mite green when I cooked up a bit of wrap for dinner. I told her she ought to toughen up. She almost punched me. I like her. Reminds me of Rebecca. She's got a kind of spirit to her. The kind true freedom hasn't beaten down yet. Shit. Look at me dredging up bygone days. Forget I said anything. I will.
Что там, где там у нас Вакария? Кстати, научное оружие. Я вот думаю сбросить очки.
Want to be a brand new you? Try out our respecification machine. Alex installed it himself, right before he died.
Ладно, я не готова. Надо будет как-нибудь просто сделать это.
Hey boss, got a hypothetical for you? You got a friend, see? Somebody you knew when you were growing up. You were close. Then one day, they up and vanished. 5 years go by, they send you a message out of the aether. What's going through your head? You got the wrong idea, boss. It ain't like that. Guy by the name of Clyde Harlow. He was an old friend of mine. Honestly, he was probably my first and longest friend. I just heard from him. Says he wants to talk to me. Says it's urgent. The guy just vanished without a trace one day. No goodbyes, no explanations. Been gnawing at me ever since, you know? That's what I don't know. The message was light on details. No explanations, as usual. Clyde. He was a blustery old cuss. Carried on about violent revolution and seizing the means of production. Clyde was my first friend, but he was also my mentor. Taught me how to think, how to question, how to disobey. I figured the board got him in the end. Some guys with black uniforms snatching him off the street in the middle of the night or something. Clyde's waiting for us on Scylla. What he's doing on an asteroid I can't begin to imagine. I appreciate this, boss. I know you're going out of your way for me.
Где Вакариан? Я надеюсь, он не в моей комнате голый. Черт. О, у нас какие-то штуки появились. Вау. Вау. Они у нас были? Знак секретной лаборатории. Собственность заброшенной лаборатории тети Клео в Роузвей. Да, я просто слепая. Инокоборцы. Иконоборцы. Теперь, когда ими командует Зора, иконоборцы получили шанс выжить на монархии и даже расширить свою сферу влияния. Знак шишкачная колбаса Сент-Пи. Служите мне верой и правдой, когда я осыплю вас золотом и шишкачной колбасой. Предадите же меня, подам вашу голову на серебряном блюде с грибной подливой. Подписано лично шишкачным королем монарха. Чучело головы жукоматки. Нет, лучший способ установить господство над инопланетной экосистемой, чем выследить и убить ее самого опасного хищника, а затем повесить на стену голову в качестве трофея. Да, мы много жукоматок убили. Так, а ты кто такой? Фонари короны. Санджар подарил их вам в благодарность за помощь МС. Одуванчик. Мы пустили новые корни, точно сорванные порывом ветра пушинки одуванчика. Эделаида. Фига себе, как мы так раньше? Ты вредная, противная. Уравнение и план. По-моему, это читали. Искусство, наука Тазбола. Невозможно оторваться. Орден научного метода. Литературный отдел. Одобрено. Дорогуша тети Клео. Подписано Сеймом Уоткинсом Уитлоком, установившим рекорд по количеству смертей на поле в 3 последних сезонах. Карманы, часы. Все на свете существует не просто так. У всех вещей есть своя задача. Максимилиан де Сота.
As always, I am at your disposal. Anything you'd like to discuss?
Ну, вроде все посмотрели. Со всеми поговорили. Так. Очки. Элли. Так. Я продала твой дробоган, сорян. Эх. Тяжелое оружие. Пулемет. Медицина. Так, это все разобрать надо. Так, тяжелое оружие у нас есть у Феликса. По-моему, тоже тяжелое оружие. Да. Ну, викарию, наверное, напялим. О, тебе так идет розовенький. Элли. Эх. Эх. Так. Чего я хотела? Кстати. Двуручный ближний бой. Ну-ка. Феликс. Что у нас там? Семнадцатый, 16. Навыки ближнего боя. Урон в ближнем бою. Отлично. 19, 18. Вот так. Ниока. Ударный молот. Вот так. У нас она просто бывает дерется. Нафиг мы ее с собой таскаем? Может, ее кому-нибудь дать? 20. Я, в принципе, уже к той пуколке привыкла. Можно будет сравнить с нашим пистолетом. Что там у нас? Ну там 23-й левел, но все равно не настолько, конечно. Может быть, ее кому-нибудь отдать? Кому, например? Элли, Феликс. Есть какой-то дробоган. Ну, что у него в карточке написано? Нападение, ближний бой. Она только в ближнем бою, да, дерется? Может быть, ей поставить смешанный тип? Хотя зачем? У нее вся одежда под ближний бой. Неокона. Смешанный тип. Феликс. Поставим смешанный тип. Хотя дальний бой все-таки. Хм. Почему урон в ближнем бою не выше? Это то, что она на себя напялила? Хм. Ладно, пофиг. Вроде бы со всеми разобрались.
I so enjoy watching you sleep for hours on end, Captain. It's quite entertaining the way you drool and whimper.
Все-таки у нас была. Так, что у нас еще есть? Электрический.
Our fuel cells are now primed with Alta Vitae gas. As the organics say, let us hope we do not explode in transit to the groundbreaker.
Надо выбрать задание.
Destination reached. The groundbreaker.
Такой розовый.
apple cider, a hard cider.
Мне кажется, он недоволен. Такой, за что ты так со мной?
That gas is going to make us a fucking mint. 120-some cubic meters of it, at a million bits a pop. Take this. You've earned it. When we get buyers lined up, I'm gonna buy a gold toilet to shit in. You're goddamn right. Monarch isn't exactly a walk down the lanes of Byzantium. But here you are with all your limbs attached. Call me impressed, contractor. I guess you're just one of the lucky ones. Look on the bright side. You just started and you're already on the path to a promotion. You've been keeping busy. I hear you took on some extra work at Fallbrook. Catherine says the factory needs some repairs before it's back to working order, but at least it's under our control. Hey, when you were at the slaughterhouse, those swine didn't give you any strange looks, did they? Like they were hanging on to your every word, scheming. And when you turned around, maybe they just oinked like innocent little idiots. I knew it. I'm probably getting worked up over nothing. Just try not to think about pigs. You never know, you know? I've got a lot on my mind, but it's nothing that concerns you. At least, not yet. I have another job lined up, assuming you're still interested in work. You're gonna salvage me a space station. Heliospheric Research Station 1084, to be exact. I want it. Cobwebs and all. Interested?
Oh, sure. That sounds like a real easy job.
This opportunity won't come around again, Captain. Right now, it's only salvage on paper. Systems and comms have gone dark. Poke around if you're curious why. While the board lets 1084 gather dust, you're gonna swoop in and plant Sublight's flag. Perfectly legit, perfectly legal. Here, this override bypass should get you into the station's systems where you can plant my flag. And one last thing. When you get there, make sure you aren't followed. We wouldn't want that. I'm being smart. Try it sometime. I'm on the heels of something big. Play your cards right and I'll clue you in, but right now, I'm not sure who I can trust. Just be careful. Someone might try and use you to get to me.
Что-то не поняла у кого-то. Почему ухудшено? Чего ухудшено? Мне показалось, что субсвет утиль ухудшено. А почему у меня все уважительно? У меня же там было что-то еще. Ну вот это только осталось недовольно. Ладно. Я ее, блин, золотила, а она... Сучка. Хм. Так, что там? Задание напарников. А, я поняла. Это наш корабль. Куда мы вообще перепрыгнули? Эй. Так, я хочу на Сциллу, пожалуй. Так, у нас тут Сцилла. Сцилла. И еще одна Сцилла. Так, сначала пустышка. Сцилла. База. Так, ну мы берем Феликса и... Да, все так и берем. Мы где вообще? Мы же здесь не были ни разу. Так, нет, стоп, мы здесь были. А это как... Ну, насколько я помню, нам сюда. Как будто бы здесь все поменялось.
Hey, you. Looking for something? Where do you think you're going? Yeah. The captain said we might be getting a new recruit. That you, then?
Sounds like Clyde's jumping to conclusions, but yeah, I'm Felix.
You're on a first-name basis with Captain Harlow, huh? All right, go on through.
Тут все как-то по-другому.
Got my sights on you.
Прям по-другому. Как будто тут целую базу поставили, пока меня не было. это за место такое? Бандит.
Got my sights on you.
Я ожидала одно, увидела другое. Почему мне задание не поменялось, раз мы сюда попали?
That machine stole my bits. Why do we even have one of these?
Главное меню записи. Записи о закупках. Независимый грузоперевозчик на мягких лапках. Груз. Контрабандные медикаменты. Описание. Сбил, взял, груз взял, за экипаж потребовали выкуп. Независимый грузоперевозчик. Делай ноги. Груз. Антиправительственная литература. Описание. Сбил, груз взял, экипаж присоединился к нам. Грузоперевозчик оборотень, груз, детали двигателей, описание сбили, груз взяли, экипаж катапультировался в спасательных капсулах. Мы, как всегда, сумели перехватить корабли, несмотря на хитрую маскировку тепловых следов. Наш благодетель снова сдержал свое слово. Данные для слежения оказались верными, не знаю, откуда они берутся, но мы не в том положении, чтобы отказываться от подачек. Уведомление. Всему экипажу. Я начинаю сомневаться в нашем благодетеле. Когда мы выслеживали очередного вольника, у нас на сканерах засветился корпоративный грузовик. В трюме у него было 10 раз больше груза, чем у нашей цели. Не успели мы его просканировать, как пришел приказ продолжать преследование вольника. Что-то не сходится. Пока не разберусь, смотрите в оба. Харлоу. Вернулся к началу. Открыть последнюю запись. Кодекс пиратов. Правило первое. Харлоу тут главный. Правило второе. К черту коллегию. Правило третье. Какого хрена ты тут читаешь, шестерка? Проснись, если ты видишь этот текст. Коллегия уже тебя подчинила. Тебе пришло в голову по своей воле искать правила. Зачем? Для тебя это все игрушки, а может тебе нравится, когда с тобой играют? Ради чувства защищенности и стабильности ты лакаешь чужие подачки, как пупырчатый опиум. Пурпуричный. Да срать на правила, и на термины тоже срать. Какая это революция, если мы пользуемся оружием, которое они не раз и не два поднимали против нас? Что на передовой во время бунтов, что на сидячих протестах. Что? Ошибка. Документ, кодекс пиратов превысил ограничение по длине. Пираты, значит. апсида это... Может на меня напасть?
Well, hey there, Hullhead. Clawed your way out of the groundbreaker at long last?
Uh-huh. Oh, sorry, were you expecting me to say something? Maybe a long time no see, or a you've aged, old man?
Your captain has a sense of humor, Felix. Good. There's a time and place for humor. So, you took Felix under your wing. Kept him busy. Good. Kid always needed a place to belong.
Felix is a vital member of our crew. He's... well, he's good in a fight.
Hear that, Clyde?
Чувак, у тебя броня, конечно.
So long as you haven't been making a fool of yourself. I'm sure Felix has no end of stories to tell of your exploits together. I look forward to catching up with the boy. I'm working on something. Something big. Something the likes of which Halcyon has never seen. And I want Felix to be a part of my initiative. I'm fulfilling a promise I made to the boy. That one day, he and I would change the colony together. That day has finally arrived.
Easy there, Clyde. No one said nothing about throwing in with you. In case you didn't notice, I'm pretty happy where I am.
I'm not asking you to walk away from your captain, Felix. But neither should you allow yourself to be controlled by fear. Change is not to be feared. I brought you here because I want to know where Felix's loyalties lie. When the day of our revolution comes, I want to know that I can rely on him. That you feel insulted is a testament to your affection for the boy. I'm not asking you to let him go. Not until he's ready. I understand that Felix is part of your crew, at least for now. If the thought of losing him troubles you, then understand that you're helping him solve a problem for an old friend. I want you to deal with a traitor for me. Name's Trask. Kill him, and bring me proof of his death. His ring should do nicely. We're not a band of common pirates, Captain. We are revolutionaries. I expect a certain degree of intestinal fortitude from my soldiers. Trask was a coward.
У тебя написан свод правил, потому что ты пират. Алло.
Then Felix will have done me a favor, and I will be grateful. I imagine we'll catch up on lost time, have a long talk about his future. Routed us out to the board. He's been an informant. Has been for years. When he realized I was onto him, he and his little cadre mutinied. Killed 5 of my own and tucked tail. I don't know where he's hiding, but his wife might. Rosanna. Lives on the groundbreaker last I checked. Rosanna knows my crew by name and face, but you're a stranger to her. She'll talk to you.
You think so? Maybe we should have a word with Trask. Get his side of the story first.
You'd be wasting your breath bandying words with that traitor. But if it makes you feel better, by all means. Remember, I want proof. Bring me his ring. I don't care if the hand's still attached. Here, my token. Think of this as my personal signature. Anyone who knows me by my works will know me by this token. Well enough. It's been a few years, but I still remember a thing or two. You had a chip on your shoulder. You'd argue over anything and you'd never back down.
What do you mean, had? And for the record, you never could admit when you lost an argument.
You see what I have to deal with? Let's hear it. I was working on this plan for years, saving every bit I could, drawing plans, biding my time. I never intended to spend my life laboring on the groundbreaker. When the opportunity presented itself, I did what I had to do. I left.
You might have said something.
I had some ugly business in Scylla. If I told you, I would have implicated you. Hephaestus controlled mining operations all over Scylla. Most of these operations failed. The company pulled out and abandoned their facilities. Mostly abandoned anyway. This one was running on a skeleton crew. My associates and I seized control in a matter of minutes. A revolution is the work of a lifetime, Captain. I've spent my life preparing for the day of Halcyon's reckoning. Everything you see around you is the result of that preparation. A base of operations, loyal soldiers, freedom from the board's oversight. The skies around Scylla are curiously absent of patrol ships. It's almost as if the board's sphere of influence is shrinking. Besides, our facility is well armed and located on defensible terrain. If the board tries to lay siege to us, we'll make them pay. Not all revolutions involve bloodshed and fire, Captain. The purest act of rebellion is to live according to one's own means, independent of any masters. One day, when the board is weak and Halcyon vulnerable, we may claim a piece of this system for ourselves. Until then, we bide our time. Hardly. The board is rotting from the inside. Tomorrow, next year, a generation from now, eventually the board will fall to pieces. Entropy is the natural state of the universe, Captain. All systems inevitably dissolve. When that day comes to Halcyon, we will be ready.
That was simultaneously the least scientific and most pompous statement I've heard in ages. Well done, Mr. Harlow.
A vicar. I admit, I never imagined a man of the cloth living the adventurer's life. You do keep some interesting company. Was there anything else? Something
Да уж.
Some crew members are causing a disturbance on the ship.
Now, hold on. What happens if we hit the wall?
Most likely, the bullet will ricochet, which could be bad. Or hilarious. There's a tiny chance of a hull puncture, which would suck us into space one chunk at a time. Bad and hilarious.
Ugh. Just imagining that makes me sick.
That's why we don't miss. Captain, I've been thinking. Something about this Harlow guy isn't on the up and up. Glad it's not just me. The way Harlow is leaning on his revolutionary bona fides, not to mention his knowing Felix back in the day, something about it feels off. Good. That makes two of us.
Hey, Cap.
Felix keeps asking me to watch some adventure serial with him. It's not my thing, but he's real sweet about it.
Ай, я красоте. О, блядь.
By verity, by strength. What are we contemplating today?
Эта броня себе так идет, чувак, я прям не могу.
Clyde's got a crew of his own, huh? Good for him. Did you want to ask me something? I know. Clyde comes off rougher than Mantisaur hide. He's a good guy, though. Just gotta get to know him. You think he's using me? He wouldn't. Would he? But he's probably using me. Yeah, you're right. I guess he thinks I'm still just some wide-eyed tenderfoot looking for a scrap. Maybe we should go have a word with Trask. Get to the bottom of all this.
Конечно.
Yeah, boss?
Но сначала мы пойдем на эту грёбаную закрытую дверь.
Destination reached. Scylla.
Ну и чё? Чё, кстати, мы едем? А, там нет точки. Серьезно, нет точки перемещения? Кстати, что мне там по шапке? Ой, блин, надо было продать патроны. Так, а ну-ка мне давайте переключайте нормальное оружие. Ой, в смысле, задание. Насколько я здесь помню, здесь были автоматоны. Че, никого теперь? А есть что найти? Интересненького. Меня разочаровали. Я не ожидала такого предательства от вас. Суки. Чего? 67? Фига себе. Что там, навыки ближнего боя? На всякий случай купим. Черт. Че, все? Нет, не все. Ой, Вакария сломался. Да, чтоб тебя. Тяжелое оружие электрическое. Шоковое оружие. Я не поняла. Это пулемет, просто пуколка? То есть не пулемет. Ладно, Вакариану поменяем. У него же старое. Наконец-таки это будет открыто.
What have the solar winds deposited on my doorstep now? Just more dirt and debris? Or do you actually believe you are here seeking the truth? I must admit, I tire of the truth seekers. Mayhaps you're here to rob me? That would be so much more exciting. Oh, the audacity. Strangers enter my home and demand to know who I am? What fun! Is this a multiple choice question? Because I'm not sure I remember anymore.
No, she's not. She's a lady of transcendent wisdom. Can you not see that?
Very astute. And I'm out here to meditate and contemplate the unendurable mystery without being bothered. So why are you bothering me?
We've been told this was once yours. I believe the knowledge within here contains the answers I seek. Answers that will free men's minds from toil.
I can translate it, but it won't do you any good. I can see you are a man in a hurry, and the insights in that book would take you years of study to fully comprehend.
I've spent my life in contemplation. I believe my mind is prepared to receive the truth.
There is one way that can speed up the process. It involves a combination of several ingredients, some of which can be fatal. It is not for the faint of heart or the unprepared. A crass way to put it, but yes. Chemicals that can expand or destroy the participant's consciousness. Either hallucinations followed by unconsciousness and a headache, or raving insanity, which can be fun in its own way. And I believe he may be right. There is both violence and peace warring inside you, Max. This process would be extremely tenuous for one such as yourself.
I'm committed, no matter the cost.
No matter the cost. It's just drugs, Max. We ain't making you walk in front of a firing squad.
Very well. Not like I'm going anywhere. Head on into the meditation room when you decide you're ready, and partake of the sacramental incense. It'll be waiting on the table for you.
Можно мне что-нибудь украсть? Ой, а ту сферу можно украсть? Нельзя. Ёпта. Ладно, мы еще мудрецов не порвали. А мне-то зачем в этот ритуал вступать?
Maximilian, why are you still doing this? You've been fighting against the world since before you left home. Haven't you figured out yet that the more you fight, the more pain you cause yourself?
Mother, you're dead. You can't be here. I knew this was too good to be true. These are just cheap hallucinogens that have... What's happening to my voice? Does my voice sound weird to you? And what's wrong with your face?
What's wrong, Max? Can't think straight? Now you know how I feel. Wait, forget I said that.
We are obviously the victims of a tasteless joke being perpetuated. Perpetrated? I mean, we're being made fools of, aren't we? When I get out of here, I'm going to show that hermit what you get for messing with me.
Maximilian, always ready to give up, to lash out, always searching for answers, but always in the wrong place, never looking inside himself.
You look inside yourself all the time, Max. Or with your head buried up your posterior.
Мама, видение.
Thank you. It relieves me to see there's at least one positive influence in my son's life after all these years. Has he told you how he thoughtlessly abandoned us?
Thoughtlessly? How could you say that? I only wanted you and Father to be proud of me. I was going to be the perfect vessel. I was going to be a better, more full of the plan. This year, it's all coming out wrong. The plan, it filled you with a joy I could never feel. I wanted it. And being a laborer made me miserable. I was better than that.
You certainly convinced yourself you were. But don't feel bad. We continually lie to ourselves, weaving stories in a vain attempt to convince us that we are in control of anything. These stories are how we try to make sense of our lives, but they are not real, are they? They're just stories. You need to draw up your story and see the truth.
I got your story right here. I'm Vicar Max. I'm uptight. I love the church, and I'm a stooge for the board. And I don't understand that Felix is a genius.
Да я не знаю вообще.
What the fuck are you talking about? No, I just wanted to prove to my parents that damn it. You're right.
Max, you need to lay the past to rest. What happened with your father and I, it's long dead. To attain your goals, you must live in the chaos. Be fine with the chaos. Whether you resist or not, it will take you wherever it wants. More assuredly than even the fictional architect's plan you slave away to prove.
No, that's not true. The basis of everything is order, not chaos. It's true, I know it is. So did you. Why are you denying it? Before you died, the plan made you happy.
No, it didn't. I made myself happy. There's nothing holding you back but you. If you can't understand that, you will never understand anything. Goodbye, Maximilian.
This whole thing, it's just a farce, right? Just my own brain working against me? You couldn't be more right. Hello, Max. What? Who? Why do you look like me? Are you me? Not really. I'm who you think you are. I am disciplined, controlled. I have no doubts. And I don't exist. Yet you have judged yourself against me your whole life. Why? Why do you berate yourself for not being me?
Yeah, Max, why do you do that?
Черт, там был интеллект!
I don't know what to say. Thank you, Captain, but I don't know. Is it wrong to try to be a gooder, better person than I am? But that's not what you're doing, is it? You're desperately trying to find a story to organize reality in your head. A story to control everything. A new story of the happy you, the contented you. Me. That's not... It can't be right. I've only been searching for the answer to the equation, because it will set us free. Won't it? How? By removing the need to make any decision. To have your life completely controlled. The illusion of certainty. Your obsession allowed you to avoid the real question. Who are you? I'm Max. Me! I'm real. You can't convince me otherwise. Please don't convince me I'm not. The concept of Max is what's not real. By the architect. Architect? How could I have believed in an architect? That's ridiculous. I must be losing my mind completely. What you're saying almost makes sense. We exist inside our thoughts, thinking we're in control. That's it, isn't it? We have no control over anything. It's all lies. How could I not have seen this? But how do we escape ourselves? I see you're back with us. Feared we lost you there. Never seen anyone pass out yet stay upright before. I woke up. The illusions I built for myself just fell away. I'm no longer interpreting, I'm experiencing. Everything is perfect.
Мы его сломали.
No, not perfect in that sense. But it is still perfect. It's all there to be experienced, to be lived.
Мы его явно
Of course
сломали.
there is pain and loss, but the suffering is caused by trying to control reality, clinging to the way you want
Ёб
things to
твою
be,
мать.
not enjoying the way they are. I am content. I finally found what I was looking for, even though I was looking for the wrong thing.
Мне очень жаль.
Yes, you caught. What's occupying your thoughts? I wouldn't say my parents disowned me, strictly speaking. But before they died, they accused me of thoughtlessly abandoning them. I couldn't understand it. I was only trying to make them proud by becoming a better vessel for the plan, to feel the joy they felt. I was so certain my potential was wasted as a laborer, and was willing to risk everything just to prove to them that they were wrong. I was lost, misguided.
Раньше ты мне больше нравился. Блядь, теперь ты как тряпка. Господи, и зачем я сломала мужика? Черт, у тебя все было нормально с башкой, теперь нет.
So, have you found your answers?
Not so much found as finally listened.
Yes, it is quite the convoluted maze we build for ourselves. It looks like you learned something in there as well.
Of course you were.
Так, что тут у нас есть еще? Закрытые места. А, это там находится, да, этот чувак. Так, мы же можем переместиться.
Crew members Ellie and Max are engaged in a heated discussion in the kitchen.
Max. Maximilian. Vicar. Vicky.
Yes?
Aw, this is no fun anymore.
I find myself marveling at the complex simplicity of the Fibonacci spiral. I'm sure you know what that's like. Something vexing you, Captain?
We've arrived at the groundbreaker.
Розанна.
Purpleberry punch. You want a punch? We've got your punch right here.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Remember Auntie Cleo? Because she remembers you. When you were sick, who took your temperature?
You mind trying to have a moment here? Yeah, I was called that once upon a day. You need something? Rufus and I are no longer on speaking terms. I don't know where he is. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. You're telling me you're on a first-name basis with Ms. Tennyson? All right. I'm gonna take your word for it. Rufus is hiding out in Emerald Vale. Got a few friends with him. That's as much as I know.
Я предполагала, что он там, поэтому мы сначала сюда полетели. Я была права.
Please, just make it quick. That's right. Our marriage contract expired some months ago. And seeing how he's technically an outlaw, I wouldn't renew even if I wanted to. Precious little. He and Rufus worked together on the groundbreaker some years back before he vanished. A few years later, Rufus gets a message from an old friend. Something about starting a revolution, something about getting rich. Abandoned his work and ran off that very day.
So Clyde sent Trask the same message you sent me. What's the problem?
Word of advice, kid? Anybody carrying on about a revolution just wants to sell you something. I don't know Harlow. Never so much as bandied a word with the fellow. You're better off having this discussion with Rufus. Only that Rufus is in a bad way. He came to see me a little ways back. Said he had to go into hiding. Never asked why. He was here to collect his personals, complain about Harlow to me, and say goodbye. In that order. No, and he was particular about that. Said I was better off not getting entangled in his mess. Little late for that, says I. Appreciate it. No offense meant. Just been a long day is all.
Я хочу этот плакат. А чего вообще на меня пялитесь?
Hey, that's against. What do you think you're doing? Ah, sorry for the misunderstanding.
Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch.
Мне нужен был этот плакат. Очень. Зачем мы опять бежим к кораблю, я понять не могу. Мы же можем вот так сделать.
Captain, Felix and the vicar are arguing again.
Интересно, где мой плакатик висит? У кого? У Сэма его нет. Охотник на диссидентов. Специальный выпуск. Так, по-моему, мы это уже читали. Ладно, здесь нет моего плакатика. Ух ты. Сосуд для благовоний. Коробочка со всякими безумием, принадлежавшая отшельнице. Открывает преимущество концентрации для викария Макса.
You don't think that's a problem? Whole ship's running on a computer's fancy. That'll make you nervous, preacher?
No, Felix. The concept of a ship computer does not make me nervous. Are you scared of Ada?
I ain't scared of Ada.
Good. I'm glad we cleared that up.
It's just, she's a computer, Max. What happens when her equations tell her to cut off her oxygen? Or blast us all into space?
Felix, Ada is not sentient. She can't act out of a sense of malice. Where do you get these ideas?
I was watching true stories of mechanical murderers last night.
Felix, I find your purity refreshing.
Блин, он в этом розовом костюмчике такая прелесть. Я стала лучше к нему относиться. Так значит, у тебя мой. Плакат Терра-1. Самая похожая на Землю планета из пока известных. Фига себе, самая похожая. Я думала, что у нее будет. Ну ладно.
Like what they did with the place?
We are now in orbit above Benchwater, Captain.
Воу. Ну, вот здесь были, да? Воу. Ты, закройся ты. Да. Нас здесь нет. Мы просто так ходим. Ага.
Hell of a job.
Там, ходи быстрее. Да. Пройдись везде.
Nice work, Captain.
Считаю, что парень справляется на отлично. Ты так и будешь здесь ходить? Ладно, тут остались какие-то мелочи. Погнали. А можешь Феликса пока оставить? Взять с собой гаечку? Но все-таки по ее родному городу пойдем. Хотя ладно. Думаю, может быть, реплики были бы интересны. Возьму-ка я гаечку. Я буду разочарована, если они не добавят интересных реплик. Что мы вернулись в ее родной город.
Town's been dark a while now.
Там поди ничего не изменилось. Да. Ничего не изменилось.
How am I supposed to file a report with a power tool?
Hello?
Жаль, очень жаль. Так, куда нам надо? Гипнотизер.
I'd wager this is the outpost. Rebecca! Anders! Come on out!
Jackass is incoming! Messes with you, boss!
Что вас всех?
That's the last of him!
Hey, take a gander. The door's busted. Rebecca? Anders? You in there? Huh. Rebecca taught me this once. You can jerry-rig these old locks so as they don't open anymore. But we've only ever done that if we're in a real bind. Here, I'll fix it.
Села.
Oh no. Oh no. What did you do?
Oh, hell. I'm sorry, Nyoka.
Ржавый дневник. Дисплей потускнел, а кнопки почти полностью проржавели. Но у вас получается разобрать фрагменты текста, который, судя по всему, представляет собой последние записки Ребекки. Закон меня сохрани, Андерсон был прав. Не надо было брать этот контракт. Я думала, что на монархе плохо, но это невыносимо. Тут все то ли ослепли, то ли свихнулись, уже не знаю. В город нас не пускают без контракта о найме. Я не могу даже найти человека, который позволит мне отправить сообщение. При том, что здесь масса способных ребят. Мы в тупике. Дома мы боролись за каждый кусок, потому что еду приходилось добывать своими руками. Здесь еды полно, но раздавать ее запрещено. Мы понемногу подворовываем, когда выпадает шанс. Андерсон уже готов сдаться. Подписался на пожизненную службу «Просто космос» ради возможности принять душ. Клара, молюсь всеархитектору, чтобы ты это не прочитала, но на всякий случай хочу сказать, мне жаль. Андерсон, облажался я с ним. Мы взяли этот контракт не ради битов, и не потому, что первобытное звучит круто. Мы взяли его, потому что хотели вырваться. Монарх — это ад. Нас уже тошнило от тошноты, от вареных раптидонов и серной вони, которая липнет к тебе, как не намывайся. От борьбы и днем, и ночью мы страшно уставали. Мы думали, что получим деньги и сможем здесь повеселиться, освоиться. Но тут ничем не лучше. Просто по-другому. Мы все так же голодаем. Не надо было нам уходить. Я просто надеялась на хорошую жизнь. Я скучаю по тебе, малявка. Мародеры на дороге. Андерсон умер от кровотечения. И я ухожу. Я им не дамся. Живой им меня не взять. Я видел, что творят эти чудовища.
They were... That bitch! They were all set to abandon us! What would Clara say, huh? Every day she'd ask if we heard from you. And she'd have forgiven you. The kid had a soul that made the sulfur smell like roses. Ugh. Or to leave your medallions to rot with you, but Clara would want to be buried with her sister.
Я тут пока немножко, ладно, тут ворую, они же все равно умерли, им это не надо. А потом мы с тобой поговорим.
At least I know. Ought to have learned by now that getting one's hopes up tends to open them to being dashed across the stars. I hate to say this, but Clara died thinking her sister was still fighting to get back home. I'm glad. If she were still alive now, it'd break her to know the truth. Yeah, maybe. I'm used to disappointment. She was still so naive as to let it hurt her every time it happened. Only thing left is to take these medallions home, which means figuring out how to bait the Mana-Queen out of our old base. The most pissed off I've ever seen a queen was when a foreign species was on her soil. I'd wager the stench of a primal might do the trick. No, we need a plan. You may be a capable sort, but so are my friends. I ain't making that mistake twice. Never had the pleasure of hunting primals, but I hear they're all over Scylla. Let's tear a few apart, shall we? I'm sure they've got pheromones. Everything does.
Давайте полетаем туда-сюда. Чё бы нет? Мы же все можем, да? Чё у тебя там по броне? 48? Ладно, 42. О. Тяжелое оружие плюс 5. Навыки. Это же мне добавляется, да? Нет. Я вот все пытаюсь выяснить. То, что я им броник напяливаю вот на тяжелое оружие плюс 5. Это как-то учитывается? 27. Только сопротивление нательной брони. Остальное вообще никак не влияет. Печалька. Я им все подбираю, тут стараюсь. Им можно просто огромный броник напялить и все. Угу. Как там наша ботаничка поживает?
You are welcome here.
Угу. Ничего интересного. Печалька. О, я помню вас, ребят.
Don't mess with the best.
Кто там дышит?
I'm on my way!
I don't know who you are or why you're prowling around here, but I'm willing to make a guess. You're one of Harlow's gun hands, ain't you? He sent you after me. Right. You just stumbled into a camp full of armed strangers because you wanted directions. How much is Harlow paying you? Let's assume I believe you. Tell me what you want. How do I know that I can trust you? Yeah, guess that's a fair point. Listen, I don't know what lies Harlow's dripped down your ear, but you'd be a fool to trust him. I never betrayed Harlow. Harlow betrayed all of us. The board's got him in their pocket, been paying him off for years. All that palaver about revolutions? It's a lie.
You can't be serious. I've known the guy for years.
Yeah, that's about how I reacted when I found out. That's the whole truth. Harlow's just another board asset. A 2-bit mercenary wearing a dissident's clothes. Say your piece. Yeah, I've got proof. There's always a paper trail when the board's involved. I chanced upon some correspondence between Harlow and his employer. I don't know that it makes a difference. What was I to do with that evidence? Bring it in front of the board? There's no authority in Halcyon willing to take Harlow to task. Huh. You ain't like other board agents I heard about. You got a functioning spine. You want to confront Harlow yourself? Be my guest. I hid my papers before Harlow chased me out. Back in the middle of the base, there's an old vent in a utility corridor. I stashed my evidence in that vent. Board-sanctioned piracy. Harlow went after the ships the board wanted destroyed, capturing anybody the board wanted captured. If we captured you, we'd ransom you. Harlow liked to do the job himself. Gather up the captives on his own ship, vanish for a couple of days. Only that's not what happened. Harlow's been selling his captives off to the board. I don't know where they ended up. Re-education, Tartarus, maybe worse. Because he's for sale. Anything the board can buy, the board will buy, and that includes loyalty. Harlow was a charismatic bastard, and he was ruthless. With Harlow in their pocket, the board had an informant, a pirate, a smuggler, and a gang leader all rolled up into one odious excuse for a human being. Sounds like a deal to me. Take it you've made up your mind. You gonna tell Harlow I'm dead? May as well. I'm never going back to that life again. Here, take the ring. And for what it's worth, my gratitude.
Конечно, найду доказательства. Я все проверю. Если что, я за тобой вернусь. Имей в виду. Где доказательства? Харлоу. Ладно.
Captain, Felix and the vicar are arguing again.
Young Millstone, you look pensive.
I don't know what that means, but I've been thinking. It ain't easy carrying a torch for the Rangers.
I understand. The Rangers' victories are your victories. Their defeats are
Итак. Что нам надо? Прокачать. Может быть, лидерство прокачать? Собака. О. Я же ведь правильно понимаю? Это про ульту имеется в виду? Ульта? Ну, давно не было способности. Почему? Так, а что сюда приперло вообще?
Never expected you to understand.
This may come as a surprise.
В смысле и там нам надо быть? На сциле, это жука хрень. Ладно. Сначала пойдем на базу. Тут, наверное, ничего не напишу, да? Это чеки с подробной информацией о выплатах наемнику Харлоу, выпущенные от имени коллеги. Также включены названия нескольких грузовых кораблей, ставшие целью экипажа Харлоу, их судовые манифесты и общая стоимость всех грузов, доставленных представителям коллегии. Пацан, иди сюда.
Clyde Harlow, agent of the board. Yeah, that sounds even more insane out loud than it did in my head. I'm not sure what to think right now. You told me to be suspicious, but I never imagined Clyde would stoop to informing for the establishment. Then again, Trask knew he was a dead man. Could have been trying to shift the blame. Yeah, well, we let him live. Let's hope we don't have to make 2 trips. None of this is making a lick of sense to me right now. I think we need to have a word with Clyde.
О, собака проснулась. Привет. Аф.
What's the word? Not surprised. Trask was a dead man trying to negotiate with his own executioner. He'd say anything to preserve his life. That's a damning accusation. Am I right to presume you have some evidence on hand? Those papers don't prove a thing. We've all done business with the board. They own the whole damn colony. Trask put you up to this. That miserable wretch. He's trying to undermine everything I stand for. You've got a lot of nerve calling me a liar to my face.
Надо было сначала кольцо, блин, дать, я бы очки заработала.
How should I know? What the hell do I care? Trask was a traitor, and I didn't ask you to understand his motives. I asked you to cross him off.
Clyde, look me in the eye and tell me it's not true. Tell me, and I'll believe you.
Don't talk to me like I'm some common criminal, Felix. You're the one on trial, not me. I don't know what kind of poison that snake dripped in your ear, but as far as I'm concerned, you've been compromised.
Here they come! That had to hurt!
Прикольно.
Here they come!
Жаль, что мы все-таки не отдали кольцо.
Right, here we go! I am a storm!
Блин, так жалко, что мы кольцо не отдали. Может, переиграть? Где мы? Я учусь на своих ошибках.
Got my sights on you.
Clyde Harlow, agent of the board. Yeah, that sounds even more I'm not sure what to think right now. You told me to be suspicious, but I never imagined... Then again, Trask knew he was a dead man. Could have been trying to shift the blame. I've been trying to tell myself Clyde's got some sensible explanation for all this, but I just don't know. None of this is making a lick of sense to me right now. I think we...
What's the word? So it is. Thus ends Rufus Trask. Once a sensible man, by and by a fool, presently a corpse. I hope you never have to discover what it is like, Captain. The relief one feels when a mutiny comes to an end.
Trask had some things to say about you, and I've got my own misgivings.
That's a damning accusation. Am I right to presume you have some evidence on hand? Those papers don't prove... Trask put you up to this. That miserable... Listen to me, Felix. Don't go jumping to conclusions. This isn't what it looks like.
Yeah, because it looks like you've been taking money from the board. It looks like you sold out, Clyde.
Oh, come on, Felix. We've all taken money from the board. I can't pay my soldiers in ideological purity. If I have to take the board's money to buy my guns, outfit my troops, and prepare my revolution, then I'll do it. Captain, I hope Trask hasn't tricked you into believing his ridiculous accusations. If you're willing to overlook this unpleasantness, I'm willing to take Felix into my crew.
I don't know about this, boss. You've been real good to me. I'm not too keen on jumping ship. Sure, boss. Whatever you say.
You don't have to do this. You're a free man, Felix. Free to disobey.
Then I choose not to get on my boss's bad side. Sorry, Clyde. If you wanted me on your crew, you should have been the first to ask.
Then I suppose there's nothing more left to be said. Goodbye, Captain. I doubt we'll cross orbits again.
Ну, мы его не убили.
Take good care of Felix, Captain.
Даже не знаю. Мы же все украли, какого хера? А, или не украли, потому что этот чувак здесь курил. Да? Блин, ну... Посмотрим, что дальше. Если нет, то вернемся и пришьем его. Потом. Где этот пидорас?
Hey, no loitering. What? Let me see that. Yeah, I remember that job. Nice and clean. Easy pickings. Mr. Harlow never said we was working for the board. Stands to reason, though.
That's all you have to say? Your boss was taking money from the board. He's a mercenary for the establishment.
Yeah, what's your point? We all gotta play ball with the board, kid. They own this whole damn colony. Mr. Harlow says a lot of things, and as long as I get my share of the plunder, I believe every word he says.
You're a real piece of work. Nice to know Harlow's filling his crew with certified jackasses. I think we've heard enough.
Ну все, парниша вырос.
Boss, when we get back to the ship, I'd like a word with you.
Конечно.
If you stop in the engine room, would you ask Parvati to send Sam down to the bridge?
We need to talk. Listen, boss. I owe you an apology. I got stupid. Clyde wanted me on his crew, and I jumped at the shot. You took a chance with me back on the Groundbreaker. I should have shown you a little more loyalty. Nah, Clyde wasn't important. Knowing you can count on me, that's important. There was something else on my mind, honestly. I've been trying to make sense of all this business with Clyde and Trask. I always looked up to Clyde. The thought that he could be an agent of the board is just abhorrent to me. Yeah, he did. And I'm not sure how I'm gonna get over that. I hope so. I don't see this one passing anytime soon. You've given me a lot to think about. I'm gonna be mulling over this whole mess for a couple of days. I'm glad I didn't go back to Harlow. I've got all the family I need right here on our ship. Thanks for your time, boss.
Так, что мне там дали? Чего-нибудь, 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 чего-нибудь. Чего-нибудь дали? Феликс, получит полную независимость от гражданина. Присоединяемся. Так, где там его комната? Что-то я не вижу ничего нового. Вот она, метка, кажется, да? Эмблема Харлоу. На память о тех временах, когда все было проще. Открывает преимущество самостоятельность для Феликса. Итак, у нас там что-то напарники же, да? Феликс. Независимость. Наносимый послебоевой урон плюс 50%. Так, Элли, у нас такой штуки нет. Неока уже появилась? Нет. Тоже не появилась. Вакариан. Почему концентрация препаратов плюс 50%. А что там быть на мостике и что там Сэм отправить? Это она просто так сказала, да?
Give you funny ideas about human-mechanical relationships that I explain. What did I tell you about stealing? Oh, hey, Captain. You think I could hire myself out to ships in need someday? Be my own mechanic, like how Ellie's her own doctor? wonder sometimes.
Мне неприятно это слышать.
Battery levels are... Thank you, Sam. We guarantee it's the only sanitation and maintenance unit you'll ever need.
А мы можем и так. Да что куда я?
Destination reached. Scylla.
Так, и чё? Куда нам? А, мы задание не поменяли. Сюда, наверное, будет ближе. Хотя написано, что... Ладно, бежим сюда. Интересно, гипнотизер действует на животных?
Incoming! Purify!
That's the last of them. To shreds, you say?
Arriving soon.
Все, ты довольна? Возвращаемся. А, нам несколько надо? Собрано желез. Сейчас бегать по всей планете, собирать эту хрень. Давай так. $108, 113.
One order of second fan coming up.
Ну чё ты не нажимаешься?
Customer, all germs and contaminants have been neutralized.
Почему именно в это время начинает гавкать? Что такого происходит? Ой, да идите нахер. У нас тут свое веселье. Ну чё вы всех роботов побежали убивать? Ну оставьте вы их в покое. Что они вам сделали-то? Несчастных чуваков, ёбаный. Просто так. Хотелось бы скататься на монарх, чтобы сразу завершить это задание. Все, да? Поговорить надо. Окей.
That queen ain't gonna go down easy. I can't wait. What's up? Outstanding. These ought to be enough. Let's get back to Monarch. There's an old base I used to call home. I can get us in the door, but we'll have to shoot our way through the Queen's brood to get to the center. We'll set the bait there. Password to the door is Charon. Hayes' idea. Clara, Hayes, Anders, Rebecca, Opal, Nyoka. Charon. He said it was some old myth. Something about death and all the things we killed. Rest of us just thought it sounded cool, so here we are. Fucking right we are. It's an old cave system we tried to turn into an encampment. You'll see when we get there.
Приземлимся на монарх, если... Ну, речь должна быть о монархе, да.
Some crew members are causing a disturbance on the ship.
You're adjusting before you pull. You're anticipating it. You...
Of course I'm anticipating it. What if I shoot a friend on accident?
That's on account of your stance. You want to lean into it. Embrace it. Work with it. You're in control here, Parvati, not the gun. Don't let a hunk of metal jerk you around. You've been around powerful machinery all your life. You're always in control, right?
I guess that's kind of like when the filler's shooting 600 cans of near molten sal tuna down a conveyor while I'm trying to tune a belt.
Here, stand like me. Just so. Hips square. Lean forward a little. It's just equipment, and you're just an engineer using it. Okay. We'll try again later. You'll get it. I promise.
Я хочу переложить научное оружие, что-то меня вообще не радует. Возможно, потом мы найдем какое-нибудь прикольное применение, но не сейчас. Я просто так таскаю эту хрень. Вроде бы все, да? Вроде бы все. Не оценила. Возможно, ошибаюсь. Да, на монарх. Что за... О, почему у нас много заданий? Что за говно? Чё, кого? Чего тут? Византия. Субсвет. Ладно. Хеллбрук. Стеллар Бэй. Да какая разница? Погнали в Стеллар Бэй.
We're now in orbit above Stellar Bay, Captain.
Так, кто у нас хорош против всяких насекомых? Ну, на самом деле, Вакариан, ну, не око понятно. Вакариан или все-таки Сэм? Сэм стреляется кислотой, что, в принципе, довольно-таки хорошо. Может быть, Сэма возьмем? Возьмем Сэма. Это мы давно с ним не ходили, а робот вроде как прикольный. Хотя Феликс тоже был бы хорош. Район. Блин, нам не обязательно из дома выбегать. Мы можем так. Фига себе. Фига себе. Ну, собака гавкает очень сильно. Я думаю, что, в принципе, пора заканчивать. Мы довольно давно играем. И оставим очень интересный кусок следующей миссии на новую запись. Спасибо, что смотрели. Всем пока.